Good morning again, mamas. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is our second installment of our prenatal yoga class. And so I want to remind you that if you have any props available to you, that would be great to go ahead and get them. Blankets, blocks, firm cushion, bolster, pillow. If you don't have a block or blocks, you can use like a small stool. You can even use a chair. You can practice next to furniture, which is also great for support for balance. So just give yourself like a moment to find those things. And I always recommend sitting on something just because throughout the course of your pregnancy, your pelvis is supporting a lot. So you can sit on a blanket or pillow to give yourself a little support. And it also helps to have your pelvis lifted a little bit. And so I'm sitting with my legs crossed, or you can place one ankle in front of the other in tailor's pose. This is really supportive. When you're sitting on a block or you're sitting on a cushion, and the hips are lifted, your knees are a little bit closer to the floor. So if you have tightness with the inner thigh, it can feel good as a little stretch. But you might be feeling some pubic symphysis pain and this doesn't feel comfortable. And if that's the case, you can take like that small stool or that firm cushion and place it between your feet so that the legs are closer together. And so you can sit like that. So the idea is that you're able to sit with your spine lifted, shoulders open, and without any pain. So with that, find a comfortable seat, and we will begin. So sitting tall, it feels comfortable, maybe rolling the shoulders open and back as you softly close the eyes. You can rest your hands maybe on top of your knees or on your belly, whatever feels most comfortable, or in your back. And beginning to lengthen your breath. So, as was mentioned during our check-in, congestion is very, very common during the course of your pregnancy. So, of course, just do the best that you can. You are breathing, so that is perfect. Breathing to support and sustain you and your baby. Breathing, nourishing the cells of your body as you grow the baby. In the beginning stages of pregnancy, you're growing a baby, you're growing an organ, the placenta, which will be the life-sustaining, nutrient-providing source for your baby. So just recognizing that each breath is for you, each breath is for your baby. We'll begin and anchor our practice by chanting the sound of Om 3 times. Om is a vibrational sound. So the universe and everyone, everything has vibrational energy. So when we chant the sound of Om, we're invoking this energy. We're sensing and feeling, allowing it to resonate through our bodies. It allows us to connect to each other, even though we're remote. It allows us to connect with everyone. And your baby will enjoy the sound too. You can think of the Om as part of the sound mom, mama, mom. So if you'd like, you can join the hands together in front of your heart. Exhale completely and inhale for Just feeling that vibration in your mouth and in your chest and in your belly. Maybe even feeling your baby respond to the sound of the chant. And when you're ready, allowing the arms to reach out and up, looking up, opening the eyes. And as you exhale, bring your hands together in front of your heart. Good, beautiful. Inhale, reach the arms out and up, looking up. And exhale, bring your hands together in front of your heart. Beautiful. Inhale, reach arms up. And exhale, bring the hands together in front of the heart. Good. This time, let's inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. And interlace your fingers and press the palms up to the sky. We're gonna get really long and spacious. So as we move farther along in our pregnancy, noticing a lot of compression and lack of space in the ribs. So create a little space, breathe and lengthen. And we're gonna begin to just kind of move and rotate our opening shoulders, elbows, wrists, ribs, hips. And so just kind of undulating the body, feeling into the back. Good. And so you're just gonna create a little mobility in the rib cage, right? As we circle through the hips and pelvis, let the elbows bend. Good. Now let's reverse. Let's reverse and circle in the opposite direction. So I'm kind of pumping the pressed hands to the sky while I'm creating this wave action along my spine. Hi, baby. You are so cute. Excellent. Then we come into center, reach those arms up to the sky. And as you exhale, rest your left hand on the floor. Rest your left hand on the floor. Reach and lengthen the right arm to the sky. And it's not a deep side bend, but it's just a little opening to the left. Soften and relax the shoulders, lift your chest, a little space between your chin and chest. Good. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, rest your right hand on the floor. Reach and lengthen and open. Beautiful side body opening. Breathing. Good. Inhale, reach both arms up. As you exhale, bring your hands to rest onto your shoulders and make shoulder circles. So we're actually gonna circle backward, right? So lifting elbows up, back, and down. So wanting to open the chest again as you move along in your pregnancy. The front of the body is pretty heavy, right? Heavy with the weight of the baby. Breast tissue becoming more dense as the mammary glands are preparing for the birth of your baby. So sometimes it's really hard to keep the shoulders open and back, and mamas begin to kind of round forward, and then we feel back pain. We don't want that. So just open the chest, breathe deeply. Good. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Go ahead, reach those arms out to the sides, and you can circle through the wrist. And again, I like to kind of keep things fluid and moving. We might dance a little bit. Dance with baby. Good. Dancing for all ages. And you can reverse and circle your wrists in the opposite direction. Good. And again, just let that energy just kind of flow, pulsate rhythmically through your body. Excellent. And then slowly bring those hands down to rest on top of the knees. Inhale, lift your spine. As you exhale, we're rotating from the kind of lower part of the ribs, right? So belly kind of stays where it is. We're just opening the chest and the shoulder to the left. You can bring your left hand behind your left hip. Shoulders open, chest is lifted. You can keep that right hand where it is, or You can bring it to rest on top of your left knee. Maybe you turn your head if it feels okay through your neck. Breathe. One more breath in, inhale. Exhale. When you're ready, just slowly release, coming back to face center. Inhale, grow your spine tall. As you exhale again, belly stays where it is. We are opening the chest and shoulders, this time to the right. Your right hand can rest behind you. Keep lifting the chest. Deep breath in, very little weight in that right hand. Maybe you bring your left hand over to the right knee. Maybe you turn the head if that feels okay through the neck. And on your next inhale, slowly turning the head and the torso to center. Nice. Let's go ahead and lengthen the legs. So if you're on a block or something hard, you're going to come off, you can stay on your cushion. I recommend for mamas that you have some sort of support under your knees, right? The body is producing a lot of hormones. One of those hormones is called relaxin. And relaxin does what its name says. It relaxes the muscles in the body. It makes for a lot of joint laxity. So most women tend to be kind of flexible in the joints, not everyone, but many. So we want to make sure we don't hyperextend through the knees. So you can place a blanket or something underneath your knees. So we're just going to point and flex through the feet. So you're just waking up the feet and circle the ankles in one direction. Circle your ankles in the opposite direction. Good. You can rock the legs from side to side. Just bringing some energy into the legs and feet. And then give yourself a little tap. So just making soft fist and just gently tapping the body. So just waking up the legs. Good. And let's keep that left leg extended. And then as you come back up, bend that right knee in towards you. You can rest the knee on a block or blanket. And we're just going to just give ourselves a little self-reflexology, right? So I'm just going to take my thumbs and just rest them along the sole of my foot. So from the heel all the way up to the balls of the feet, up to the toes, out across the ball of the foot, and then you can just make your way down. So we'll just do a couple passes, right? You can kind of spread your toes, move the toes a little bit. And so again, with pregnancy, your body is increasing the amount of blood. So your blood volume doubles by the end of pregnancy. And so a lot of pregnant people experience swelling. I had some serious swelling when I was pregnant. So just massaging, self-massaging, elevating the legs and resting mamas is going to help kind of alleviate some of that swelling. And so we don't want swelling because obviously it's very uncomfortable. We can switch sides, but it's also is stagnation in the body, right? So we don't want to have calf cramps, leg, feet cramps. So if we can keep the circulation, blood, the lymph moving in the body, we can alleviate some of that swelling and maybe prevent a few leg cramps or two. So again, just waking up the feet. Good. Maybe if you can convince someone in your house to do this for you, that would be nice too. Great. All right, so when you're ready, let's bring both legs in. If you're using any sort of blankets or anything, we can set them off to the side. We're gonna come onto hands and knees onto tabletop. I recommend padding your knees with a blanket. And so you can be on your wrist if that feels comfortable for you, especially with like elbow tendonitis that was mentioned earlier. You may want to just be down on your forearms. So again, you're not risking any injury to that joint. You can also come up on fist if you have more wrist sensation and it's happening. Carpal tunnel is very how are you pregnancy too. So just begin to move. Just move. You can move the hips from side to side. You can rock forward and back. And so as we are preparing for the birth of our baby, it's really good to just kind of think about what positions feel good now while you're pregnant, so that when you're birthing your baby, you have kind of like your go-to positions. Like, oh yeah, I want to be on my hands and knees and I can rock to get some of that sensation that I feel in my low back and my tailbone to subside, right? So go ahead, come into stillness, and we're just gonna play with cat stretch. So if you practice yoga, you know cat-cow, but when we're pregnant, we don't really do the cow part because you've got all of this happening down here. So take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, hug your belly button in towards your spine. Hug your baby in towards you. Bring your chin in towards your chest. And then as you inhale, let's come back to that neutral position, right? Still hugging baby in. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest, and inhale. Keep going, we'll do a few more. Exhale, round the spine, and inhale. Exhale, and inhale. Good, one more time. Exhale, and inhale. Good. And then go ahead and rock your hips from side to side. And as you're rocking your hips from side to side, look over your shoulder. So as my hips go to the left, I look over my right shoulder. As my hips go to the right, I look over my left shoulder. And so you just kind of move with your breath. Good way to stretch the neck. Good. And you can circle your hips in one direction. Make these circles as big or as small as you'd like. And then slowly reversing, circle in the opposite direction. And then coming back into stillness. If you have a block nearby or a small stool, go ahead and bring it up to the top of your mat. You can bring both of your hands on it and then step your left foot forward just outside of that block. And again, just begin to move. So I'm just rocking forward and back, rocking forward and back. You can point the toe, you can flex the foot, whatever feels good. You can make hip circles, just circling in the hips. Breathing in and out through the nose. And then when you're ready, just coming into stillness. Bring your left hand onto your thigh. We're going to lift ourselves up. So we're in a low lunge. Good. And then we'll sweep those arms up to the sky. And then exhale, lower them back down. Let's do that a few times. Inhale, reach arms up. And exhale. Inhale, reach arms up. And exhale. Two more times. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, reach arms up. And exhale. Good. From here, mamas, my right lower leg, I'm going to spin it to the left. So I'm kind of now at a diagonal to the upper right corner of my mat. So I'm kind of in a half squat. So we're going to do squat today. But I want you to just kind of think about it from a half squat position. So I'm just bending my left knee, kind of moving my hips from side to side. Hands can be on the blocks, hands can be on the floor. You can also be on forearms and do this too. And so this is a good way to wake up the hips. Again, another birthing position to consider. Kind of finding that space across the back of the pelvis. And breathing. And then let's slowly come back into stillness. Bring the hands and the block back into center. Hands on the block. And let's sweep that leg right alongside the right and recenter yourself. Other side. Step your right foot forward. Good. And we just breathe and move. So again, just rocking forward and back. You can flex that foot, point through the toes. And again, the body has the heart, which helps to pump the blood through the body, but also movement, right? So the more we move, the greater the likelihood that we can kind of prevent swelling in the lower extremities of the body. But it also feels good. It helps with digestion. So congestion in the body just means that there's stagnation. And so we need to move the body, move the muscles, so that we don't have to deal with constipation and pain and tightness so much. I can't say it will cure it, but it will at least help it. You can circle in the hips and then come into center. Bring your right hand onto your thigh. Lift up into that low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Inhale, reach arms up. And exhale. We're going to change it up a little bit. So we're going to inhale, reach arms up. And cactus the arms, and then sweep them forward, right? So inhale up, cactus the arms, and then reach them forward. Inhale, exhale. One more time. Inhale up, cactus the arms. Inhale up. This time set your hands back down onto the block. Sweep your lower left leg off to the side. So it's going to the right. And now we're in that half squat position. And so I'm just rocking my hips from side to side, bringing that right knee over my right ankle. And breathing. Good. And let's slowly come back into stillness. Sweep your legs back alongside one another. Let's find child's pose. So knees open really, really wide. So wider than like a normal yoga class, right? Big toes touch heels apart. Some mamas experience indigestion. I had heartburn the whole 9 months. So I could never put my head down in child's pose, but I could put my head on a pillow and keep myself lifted. So you still get the benefit of child's pose, but you don't have to have the head down. You have like acid reflux issues. And so just breathing here. And again, a really wonderful position to be in to rest. Creating space across the back of the pelvis. Another wonderful birthing position. So again, just finding ways that you can find comfort and ease in your body right now, so that when you are birthing your baby, it's your big day, you have some go-tos, right? So just really wanting to feel really grounded and confident and secure, right? That you've got like lots of tools, lots of resources, and that you and your baby are working at this together, right? Baby knows what to do. Baby will make his or her appearance. And so mama can breathe and be present, creating a sense of softness and ease in her body. It's riding the waves of those sensations. I like to say sensations for the contractions, right? Sensations. Just finding some mental space by breathing a bigger, deeper breath. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Hmm. And when you are ready, mamas, slide your hands forward underneath your shoulders. Slowly press yourselves up. You can walk the knees in towards one another. And let's just take a moment on kneeling to drink some water. I didn't say that at the beginning, but please drink. It's important you stay hydrated. So again, baby requires lots of nutrients, lots of hydration, and it's also going to help with swelling. So the more you stay hydrated, the body can flush that water out. And it can also help with Braxton Hicks contractions. So I have those too. So those are kind of like those practice contractions. Sometimes it's just, you're just dehydrated. You just need to drink more water. That also helps with like cramps also. So stay hydrated. That's the moral of the story. So if you have a cushion, let's move that off to the side. You can step one foot forward, ground down, however you'd like. You can place another hand on the floor. We're gonna come up to stand. Ah, yay! You can move things off to the side. And this move. So this is our first time standing in like 45 minutes. So you can bring hands onto your anatomical hips, which is where your thigh bone meets your pelvis, and circle those hips, circle those hips, circle those hips. Good. And go ahead and reverse circle in the other direction. And let's stand with those feet a little wider apart. So this is where, like, if you need support of some furniture or a chair, you can do that. But again, don't go so far that you feel like you're losing control. You want to be able to feel some control in the body. And we're going to do some goddess squats, right? So we're just going to bend the knees and straighten the legs, right? So again, just feeling your legs, feeling your feet, feeling your glutes, feel your belly engage, chest lifted, shoulders open. And I like this pose because it's really strong. It's really powerful. So you're just kind of claiming into your power and your strength. Feel that heat in your thighs. Just kind of breathing through that sensation. And so we're going to bring the arms into it. You don't have to. So everything's just an invitation, right? So as you inhale, reach the arms up. As you exhale, good. Inhale. Nice. Inhale. Keep going. Good. One more time. Stay here. Hands to your thighs. We're just going to rotate from side to side, straightening one arm, rotating into center. There's just a little pressure in the inner thigh, so don't overdo this. We're just pressing the thigh into the hand and the hand a little bit into the thigh, just to get a little bit more of a stretch and some resistance. Nice. Breathe. 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 Good. And then from here, come into center and play with that cat stretch, right? So we just kind of find neutral and then round the back. Round the back. Good. Inhale. Good. One more time. Straighten those legs. Lift up. You can circle through the hips. So finding some space. You can dance with your baby. Move those hips a little bit. Yeah. And so just having a little fun, a little movement in the body. We're going to put the arms with this again. So just find your own groove. I don't have any music for us. But you can move your arms And just kind of move side to side. And just dancing. Good. Nice. Let's come into stillness, mamas. Walk those feet in a little closer to each other. And find Tadasana, right? Mountain pose. Just standing tall. So stand with your feet facing forward. You can lengthen the arms. You can hold your mama's hand. See that? And just breathe. You can just maybe feel a little heat in the body. Maybe feel your baby moving. Just connecting to your breath. Connecting to your baby. And so again, just feeling into your feet. Maybe you rock a little bit forward and back. Just feeling the balls of your feet and your heels and inner and outer arches. Just feeling what feels good and what feels like center to you. And then bring a hand onto your belly, right? You can bring a hand onto your heart. Let's just practice some 3-part breathing. So you're gonna envision that the body is divided into thirds. As you breathe in, you're expanding belly, ribs, and chest. And as you exhale, you're drawing in chest, ribs, belly. Good. Inhale, expand, belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, belly. Keep breathing, inhaling. So while we're breathing here, maybe just envisioning the abdomen, the baby in the uterus, and then below the uterus, the muscles of the pelvic floor, which we know isn't really a floor. It's sheets of tissue that kind of lie across each other that's supporting the weight of the baby. As you inhale, maybe feeling that upward lift of the muscles of the pelvic floor. So the muscles of the pelvic floor, we can kind of engage them, like when we cough or you sneeze, you can kind of feel that lift. And then as you exhale, you want to soften and release. Inhale, just gently drawing up the energy as you expand belly, ribs, chest, and exhale. And release. Go ahead, release the hands. You can shake out feet, shake out hands. We have time for a couple standing poses. So we'll do a few standing poses and then we'll move into squat and then it will be time for final rest. There's a couple more poses to go. So when you are ready, mamas, one more time, I'm going to have you walk the feet out pretty wide apart, but again, you want to be able to control yourself, right? So you don't feel wobbly. You can have some furniture nearby or a chair once again. Turn your right foot towards the top of your mat. We're gonna keep this back foot actually kind of flush. You can turn it in a little bit, but like unlike in traditional yoga where you angle that back foot in, you don't want to do that. We're gonna kind of keep it straight. And we just begin to bend into that right knee. Bend into that right knee. Good. And maybe let the arms kind of flow with us. And we just flow into that warrior two, right? Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. Once more. Inhale, exhale. Good. Inhale and exhale. Let's bend that left knee. Bring the left forearm on top of your thigh for extended side angle pose. And sweep that right or left arm forward, up, and back. Forward, up, and back. Good. So you're kind of an extended side angle, but we're making it more dynamic, more flowy. Opening across the chest. Beautiful. Inhale and exhale. Inhale up and exhale. Good. Inhale, come all the way up and release. Turn on those feet. So we'll turn the right foot forward or left foot forward, right, or mirroring you all. And then just a little slight turn in of that back foot and we begin to bend into that left knee. Bend into that left knee. Good, and when you're ready, just let the arms flow with you. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Let's bring that right forearm on top of the thigh, and we'll just sweep that left arm. Big circle. Again. Opening the chest. Once more. Let's come all the way up this time. And release. Nice work. You'll tail those feet back in towards one another. Circle your hips. Move your hips. Move your body. Good. Move. Open. Nice. All right, mamas, let's talk about squat. Squat. So squat is like the penultimate prenatal yoga pose. Super, super helpful to kind of, again, have in your toolbox for lifting up your baby or anytime during your pregnancy, right? So, however, there are a few contraindications. I just want to mention those to you all. So, if you are having any sort of like pelvic pain, the pubic symphysis is where your two halves of the pelvis meet right there. If you're having any sort of pain or any kind of pelvic discomfort whatsoever, please don't do this pose. You can do the half one that we do when we're on hands and knees and just step the foot forward. If that felt good, you could do that. If you have hemorrhoids, if you have placenta previa, that means that you have a partial enclosure of the cervix by the placenta. The doctors told you that. Please don't do that. If you have any sort of varicosities, so like deep, pronounced varicose veins, right? So any sort of deep vein kind of issues, we don't want to do that. So I trust you to listen to your own intuition, to do what feels right, what feels appropriate. You don't have to do squat. You can do child's pose, which is actually squat, just in child's pose, right? There's no gravity, there's no weight of the body when you're in child's pose. However, if you're going to do child's pose, or if you're going to do squat, rather, malasana, we're going to use blocks or a small stool. You can even squat on a chair. I see a birthing ball back there. You can even do your squat on your ball. So let's just start by bringing those two blocks or small stool nearby. Good. And so we're just going to stand just in front of the block or the ball and just kind of feel into your knees. So you can just kind of bend into knees a little bit, hands onto thighs a little bit. And you're sticking your booty out, just sticking your booty out and just moving from side to side. You can circle your hips again. And as you do this, you're just kind of getting yourself a little closer to your target, right? It's a little closer to your target. And so just kind of doing a little pelvic thrust. You bring forearms onto the thighs as you get a little closer to the floor, a little closer to your blocks, closer to your ball. And then when you're able to, bring hands down onto the floor as you land on your target. Nice. So sitting up nice and tall, malasana, right? So just feeling into that sense of groundedness, power. Millions, billions of women have birthed babies in this position. So we think of like this close connection that we have to Mother Earth. And so here you are, creating life inside of you, just like the earth does, right? Her harvest. So you're preparing for your harvest as well. So just take a moment. You can feel into your feet a little bit, make any sort of adjustments that you'd like. You bring your hands together in front of your heart. If you're sitting up a little higher, you can kind of hinge forward from the hips, lots of space for the belly. You bring the upper arms into your inner thighs and Just breathe here. So this is great, again, to kind of think about during the course of your pregnancy ways that you can find positions of power, but also ease. So this is one of those, right? So again, if those contraindications don't apply to you, squat is something that is really healthy for your body. It's great for any sort of digestive issues, constipation, low back pain. So let's take another 15 seconds and just breathe here. And then when you are ready, release your hands to the floor. There's a couple ways to get out of this, right? So one is to just come back up to standing, but we're going to make our way to the floor anyway. So up to you. If you're down low, you can just begin to walk the hands forward. I like to bring a leg back and come down onto my hands and knees. But when you're up high, yeah, there you go. You can just push that ball out the way, move your blocks or stool out of the way, and just come to take a seat. Excellent work. So soles of the feet together. Again, if this feels good. If it doesn't, you can extend one leg and work this one at a time. Maybe having the foot farther away from the pelvis also will feel better if you're having some kind of pubic symphysis pain. But the idea is that we're just finding ourselves in a very easeful Baddha Konasana, bound ankle pose. You can rest the hands right here at the legs. We don't hinge forward here. We just kind of close the eyes. You can lightly pull the hands into the legs to lift the chest. Roll the shoulders open. And breathe. If your eyes are closed, just slowly opening them. Bring one hand underneath each knee. Guide your knees into center. Bring your hands just outside of your hips, behind you, or just rock from side to side. Windshield wiper the knees from side to side. And then we just slowly come back into center, sitting up nice and tall, however that feels comfortable. And we seal in our practice, a yogic seal, a mudra, just by taking the hands behind the back, hold on to the wrist with one hand. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, bow the chin towards the chest. We're just sealing in all of the positive energy, the good merit that was generated from our practice today, the nourishment and healing it provided for ourselves and our baby. Just recognizing that when we take care of ourselves, we're better able to reach out and connect and support others. We do this not only for ourselves and our communities, our families, and our friends, but we do this for our ancestors who couldn't take the time to rest, right? So we just honor their sacrifices. We honor from whence they came. Just really allowing ourselves to enjoy this gift, to celebrate this gift, good health. And on your next inhale, just gently lifting the head, releasing the arms. Beautiful. So we get to rest now. So we have kind of like a middle of the way, kind of mid trimester support that we'll do, and then we have some beginning of pregnancy support that we'll will do. So if you're still comfortable resting on your back, totally fine to do that. It's not really recommended like once you're towards like the latter part of the second trimester. But again, women have done it, right? Babies are fine. So again, listen to your body, do what feels right, trust your intuition. If you're going to lie on your back, have something underneath your knees, right? So firm pillow, blankets, something so that you're not hyperextending through the knees and you're also not like the energy's not pooling in the lower limbs, the lower extremities. So you can rest like this. However, perhaps you would like to stay upright. I'll show that position. You'll have a block on high and a block on medium. You can place your bolster behind you. You also probably in all of these situations want to have like a blanket underneath your hips, again, so that you feel supported. You'll come back. That bolster should be touching your sacrum. Hold on to your bolster to stabilize it. Lay back. You can reach the legs forward. You can bring the soles of the feet together again if you like that position. That's another option. One more, side lying. This is the piece de resistance in terms of rest and relaxation. So resting on the left side, I've got a blanket underneath my hips for me to rest on. I've got a blanket or pillow for my head. And I move my blocks out the way. And then I also have another blanket or two for my torso to rest on. And I'm going to create a little space between my pillow blanket or whatever you have and the one for my torso because I want space for my left shoulder and arm to rest on, right? So if we're trying to keep that arm extended, I'm going to rest my arm in between this channel of space I created between the pillow for my head. I created some height for my torso. My right leg's gonna rest on this cushion. My left leg is long. Create that support for your head. And you can rest. This top right arm, maybe you rest it on the body. Maybe you rest it right alongside the left. Just find a position that feels good for you. Nice. Oh, you look great. So I'm going to be quiet and you get to rest for 3 minutes. If you need to move or adjust, feel free. Otherwise, try to be still. Let your nervous system rest, right? So try to just breathe, be present with your body. Eyes are closed softly. Take a long, slow, deep breath in. Open the mouth and sigh that breath out. Do that again. Deep breath in. Again, to wiggle toes and fingers, legs and feet. And just taking your time. So always rolling to your side before you get up. Then pressing that left hand down as we roll into the left side. To slowly peel yourself away from the floor. So pressing right hand down, pressing left hand down, and slowly returning to a tall, upright seat. Sitting comfortably, just closing our practice. And I like to just really honor you for showing up for yourself, showing up for your baby, showing up for your families. Because for so many of us, we are holding a lot, right? We're holding children and parents and grandparents and our communities, people that we serve, people that we work with. And so I just like to invite you to just join your hands together in front of your heart and just sealing in your intention. And that is something that is very personal and very private, very unique to you. And maybe you want to hold that intention for your day, or maybe it will guide you through your pregnancy. And then just opening the arms, opening the hands out in a gesture and a symbol of receptivity. And just believing and receiving all the support that you need. Recognizing that sometimes all you have to do is ask. Ask for what you want, ask for what you need, and then be willing to receive it. And this might be asking the very people that you support for their help, for their assistance. Maybe it's praying and believing that a higher power is there to support you. Maybe it's calling on ancestors, the mamas, the grandmamas, the great-grandmamas, all the ones who've gone before. So just allowing yourself to check in throughout the day. What do I need right now in this moment? Maybe it's rest. Maybe it's help. Maybe it's a glass of water. Gently join the hands together once more in front of the heart. Bowing the head, chin to chest. Namaste.